Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. I'm Justin from Drone Camps. I want to introduce to you today something new, but before I do that, please click subscribe because we have tons of new releases coming out to Drone Camps each week. Every Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday you're going to see new stuff coming out, and we'll see new videos on Friday as well. So tons of new videos coming out, different stuff coming from different countries all over the world, companies. So you're going to see stuff from toy drones to higher end drones with 4K cameras and stuff like that. Let's talk about Flypro. This is the Xeagle. There are a couple other reviews out there. If you're watching this review and you're wondering if you should buy this, this is definitely a good one to watch because we're going to give it a harder challenge than what we've seen previously. We saw somebody else earlier flying through the desert with one on a nice flat level surface, and it did actually pretty good following along and keeping track with the vehicle that he was using. So we're going to do something a little different. We're going to go up to the mountains and we're going to ride an ATV on some really kind of a lot of elevation changes on some big hills, and we're going to go up and down and see how it follows in those big terrain changes. Now for surfing or skating or snowboarding, I think the Xeagle would be perfect for that. If you're looking for something that you don't have to use a big bulky transmitter, you can't snowboard with something like this. You're not going to be able to really skate as easily and just be able to skate freely and have it follow you with something like this either. The nice thing that it does come with, this bundle that they sent us has the Flypro Xeagle watch, and everything is controllable from the watch. You do auto takeoffs, it'll do auto land, return to home. It has GLONASS system on here. A lot of you guys want that for your copter because it gives you a better satellite connection. You get more satellites, American and Russian satellites. So in my testing with this watch performed very, very well. So like your other copters out there that came out last year, the mysterious Lily drone that never came about, the Airdog that is out there, but it's a little bit more expensive, well actually twice as expensive as this one. So you're going to get a lot of those same features in the same modes and something small for half that price. So let's go ahead now, let's show you some of the stuff that's included in the box and what you get with the Xeagle. This is the watch bundle. There is another bundle available, by the way. We're going to put it in the link below in their Amazon link, and you can get a controller for it as well. So there's a couple of different bundles available from Flypro. So let's go ahead and open up the box and I'll show you what's included with this bundle. So this is the basics of what comes with the Xeagle. This is the watch edition bundle. So essentially you get a 3S battery. It's a 5200, 11.1 volt. It does fly for around 22 minutes I was getting out of it. It also comes with this 4K camera here with adjustable settings. You can go in the specs below and check out some of the specs on the frame rates and stuff. I'm not going to go into that, but you can take this off and put it on something else and do 4K recordings. So it is almost exactly the same size as a GoPro. So if you have some other GoPro mounts, you could use it on something else too, and that's really, really nice. You also have this watch which shows you full telemetry on everything here. It also does circle and orbit modes, which is really cool. It'll fly around you as you're moving and follow you along. It also has the follow button on the side. It has a height adjustable dial on the top right. Your photo button's up on top, and you press long, 1.5 seconds, and you get video start and stop recording. So you also have a dial in the middle, and that changes the angle that the copter is seeing you at. So if you want to adjust the angle, if it gets facing the wrong way, you can use this dial to bring it back around facing the correct position. So this is in my testing very, very accurate, but sometimes did need a little adjustment. And when you do your flights, make sure you're somewhere where there's no trees or around, because this doesn't have object avoidance on it and it will fly directly into a tree. So keep that in mind. This is also not a toy. This is a more high-end aircraft. It does feature smart battery telemetry on the outside of the battery. Here you have LEDs, 4 LEDs, 25, 50, 75, and 100% charge. Right now this one needs to be recharged. This one just came back from our testing. So I do like to fly things before I get started talking about them. So the watch is very, very cool. It's not super huge. I can go ahead and I can put the smart battery in for you. And feel free, guys, if you want to skip ahead and just skip right to the flight footage and see how this thing performs, go ahead and do that. But right now I'm going to fire this thing up for those guys that want to see this fire up on the bench. So I'm going to press and hold for the power button for the watch to come on. And you'll see it come on here. And we see our telemetry data here. It might buzz a little bit. It did on my GoPro for some reason, this screen buzzed. It might be because of the way this display is. And then you press and hold here on the back. It does have pretty bright LEDs, red on the front and green on the rear. And now we're in the studio, so it's gonna flash right now because it's not going to be able to get a good GPS lock. But if I bring this a little closer, you might be able to see that we do have Wi-Fi signal here. It does connect Wi-Fi to your smartphone, so if you're trying to hook up the app, make sure you connect to the Wi-Fi. On the top right, you also see battery left over. This is the battery, I believe, in the watch itself. This is the flight time on the copter. It says 7 minutes left on that battery. You have your height, this top number here, and your radius away from you here on the bottom. So the dial in the center, it readjusts the flight trajectory around you, so where it's at. You have your auto takeoff button here, and you have your circle 360 function up here, your power button on the side here. But overall, it is a little bit thick. Charger's on the back, and it comes with a really nice charger, USB charger. Plug that into your computer, magnetic, pops right on there. But this one does a lot of the same stuff that the more expensive ones do, and it has 4K, so I like this one a lot. Now I'm just going to go ahead and spin it around for you so you can see what it looks like front and back. I think the landing gear could be a little taller. The gimbal is a little bit close to the grass when you're going to take off, so you do have to find a spot that's relatively flat to take off. It does have a display here, so you can go in and change the settings on the camera. Right now it doesn't have a card in it. I took it out for downloading the video to the computer for our episode here. It does feature arrows on the side for navigating the menus in here. To turn the Wi-Fi on this camera, you're going to push the forward arrow, and that turns the Wi-Fi on. So if you're trying to get your app to connect and it doesn't connect, make sure you press that forward arrow. It also comes with a lens cap. You can pop right on there when you're not flying it. Also, mode LEDs in the front. These are red right now, so it's indicating that we have a low battery. It does also feature return to home, and it also does an auto land. Now if you do the auto land, in my experience, it's better to just do a hand catch. I don't normally promote that, but in this case it was coming back, and it didn't see that we had a vehicle parked behind us, and it kind of wanted to land on top of this truck's hood. So go ahead and just reach out and grab the landing gear on the sides. If you are an experienced Phantom pilot, lots of guys do that. Just be very careful when you're doing that, because you can get injured by these props. They are pretty big, and this copter is pretty heavy. Now real briefly, I want to talk about the 4K camera, because I really do like this camera. It has various settings for your resolution. You can go up to 4K, and you can break it all the way down to 1080. You can do a different wide dynamic range, so if you want to do a wider range out in darker cloudy conditions, that is really nice. So if you want to have your auto white balance adjustable, it is also adjustable in there. Your picture resolution also is 12, 8, and 5 megapixel, which is pretty nice. 12 megapixel is kind of standard in the industry right now. It also does time lapse at 3, 5, 10, and 30 seconds intervals. So that's really nice if you want to do some time lapse stuff. It also does burst mode, for you can do auto bursts up to about 11 images. It also does delayed shots. You can do it from 3 to 5 to 10 to 30 seconds, and it captures an image like periodically depending on the desired interval that you want. So that's kind of nice. You can do an auto shoot feature like that. It also has ISO adjustments from auto to 100, 400, and 1600. And that's going to make it lighter or darker for you if you're not familiar with photography. You can also adjust the sharpness on this one, high, medium, and low sharpness. Right out of the box, the video that I saw that came back to the studio after we did our test was really sharp. It looks really nice. You'll see, you can actually see the grass in the video. It's really nice. You can also do color adjustment. If you like your colors a little brighter, you can turn it from standard to vivid. So I do like that because I like my colors a lot brighter. Angle adjustment, you can change that field of view on there to large and middle. So you have less picture distortion if you want to shoot a middle frame. So if you make it smaller. Now let's go ahead and show you a few more things that comes in the box. First thing I want to show you is the watch charger. Plugs into the wall here, and it has a little USB port that goes in and a magnetic back on here. It won't let you put it on backwards because it'll repel, but once you have it right, you just plug that in the wall and it simply charges. It probably takes an hour or two to charge up the watch completely to 100%. And next up we have the charger. This is the charger for the smart battery. It charges at 50 watts. So it's not a super fast charger. It takes maybe an hour and a half to 2 hours to charge this battery, but it is quite a large flight battery. So very similar to phantom chargers that we've seen previously before with smart batteries. You're going to get these LEDs flashing when it's charging, and they'll go out when it's complete. And you can check it, and you'll see 4 bars when it's totally complete. There are battery terminals on the bottom here, and it just plugs into the bottom here very simply, then plugs into the wall here. And a couple final things before we go out and do our flight test. This is all your information that comes along with it. You get a warning and disclaimer. You get some explanations of your sport. This is the Eagle Sport bundle. Comes with a gimbal cover, micro SD card, it's 16 gigabyte card, your power plug, your magnetic charging cable, and extra landing pads. So that's cool too if you tear up your landing pads landing on pavement. And there are links to online manuals in this as well, and a printed version of the manual for you. And I've already been through this whole thing. It has all the specs right here that you can check out, and your links to the Flypro app in the Android and iOS store. So let's go ahead now, let's go to our private location on the farm, and let's show you a follow me test and some flight footage of the Xeagle. This is the Xeagle by Flypro. It's available on their website. You can check out the link below, but I'm here to do a demo for you today. I'm going to show you a few of these modes that come with this copter. It does have a 4K camera on board. It boasts around a 22-minute flight time, maybe a little more. I have a full charge on this battery right now. It does have smart battery on the back, so that's pretty nice. And it is a pretty heavy copter, so you want plenty of area, open area to fly this, kind of like what we have here. No trees is definitely optimal for this because it doesn't have object avoidance. So you want to fly it out somewhere where there's absolutely wide open. So we're going to do a flight test with this today. We're going to use the quad to help us out. We're going to fly it around this field. We're going to try several of the different modes. We're going to do the auto takeoff on here. We're going to play around with the up and down button on the right hand side. We're going to try the 360 circle option that it has. It has full telemetry on here, GLONASS satellites. So that means you have American and Russian satellites on here. Very nice. So we should connect up to about around 15 satellites. We'll see what it gets. We'll go ahead now and set this down and turn the copter on. Okay, so it does seem to have satellites now. I'm going to go ahead and try to do an auto takeoff. Pressing this left button and holding. Should power it up. Press and hold. And it'll vibrate when it's ready. So now it's going to take off. And it's going to come up probably around 20 feet or so. Now we're doing auto takeoff. So I gotta stay facing this copter. If I turn around, it's gonna fly around me. So keep that in mind when you're flying this one for the first time. And I'll go ahead and hit the follow mode. First I'm gonna hit record video on the very top. Record video, press it and hold about 1.5 seconds. And you'll see the video start to flash on the screen on the watch. So now I'll go ahead, put it in follow mode, and we'll take a ride on the four-wheeler. Here we go. All right, and that's it, guys. That's it.